So when we talk about agile development, I think you had a look at this. We were discussing this in the context of the agile project, agile courses. So it all starts with the high level business needs. I wanted you to understand this also because not just traditional that this was more of a traditional waterfall thing, but I wanted you to appreciate that coming in from agile angle because pretty much most of the projects and the work that we're doing is all about agile, using agile development, driving it the agile way. So in that context, again, high level business needs, they would be the key drivers. And then you've got the end, you perform some of these activities, and then you have the delivered system or the product or process that comes out as the outcome from the set of activities. And the activities were involved around the product backlog, which is basically the laundry list of all the items, the tasks, the requirements. So we call that as PBI, the product backlog item. It would have requirements, it would have user story in the form of user stories, it would have tasks, technical tasks, changes, change requests, it will have defects, all of those. And the laundry list of all of those would actually be out of those 1,000, 2,000 items. You would then cut it short, let's say 100, and you say these 100 of the items should go into the next release, which is in the next 6 months, for example. By April or May, we should have these, or even by December, whatever it is, depending on the time in the iteration. We say that we'll have this done and ready for the release. And from that 100, 200 items, which have to be done in the next 6 months, you would then have an iteration, which is actually what we call a sprint in Scrum, which should have, let's say 10 or 20 of them to be done in the next sprint, which is about next 2-3 weeks. So, and then the others could be done similarly in the next sprint and in the sprint after the next iteration. So that way we are actually kind of chipping away and delivering the product as and when we complete a few features and a few items. That way it's easily manageable. We can get the early feedback from the customers and users, and we can use the feedback to improve the product further. And that's how we actually deliver iteratively and incrementally, right? So the product is actually growing. So initially it just has got nothing but 10 features. The next sprint, 30 features. The next sprint after 50, another sprint after. So after about, let's say, 7 or 8 sprints, you're actually completing the 100 features or 100 backlog items that you set out for the part of the release, and you say you can go for the major release into the market as a big bang, right? So that's how we can try and achieve this. And the forward traceability, important bit here in this one, in this context of this particular topic, is from the business needs to the system is basically the forward traceability. So we talk about user stories, we talk about the defects, the changes, change requests, the backlog items, technical tasks, all of that. All of these are actually, mapped to the architecture decisions and the tasks that you do as part of the development and the testing. The test cases would be coming out from the acceptance criteria, the user acceptance test cases, the performance test cases, and then finally the product that you have got, the branch of the code that you have created and then pushed on into the production environment. That's the forward traceability. And the backward traceability in here is basically from the product back into, if you've got any changes that needs to be done, if there's any change in the requirements, if there's anything that needs to be changed in the design, what are the related requirements that need to be addressed, that need to be changed? So for that, it's again, you go back to the backlog and see, right? So that's again the backward traceability. So this is how it gets done. Traceability could be achieved in the agile development in the context of what we have discussed.